Where does Ndindi Nyoro stand?
There is an answer I am avoiding so that, you know, Ibrahim, I don't want to put this debate, Ikue, this personality against the other.
Yes.
My issue, my concentration is on issues. And as issues are now, I am totally against the policies the government is doing.
Yes.
I am totally against the kind of borrowing we are having. I'm totally against patronage in entrepreneurship. And I'm totally against the plans to increase school fees from January. So in terms of policies, you know, people may, because I get this every day, you are chairman of budget, etc., etc. Yes, but of the government having which policies by then?
Let me ease in this so that we
Yes.
actually get into the substantive matter.
Yes.
What will be on the ballot in 27
Yes.
is the Singapore dream.
Yes.
It will be sold to us
Yes.
in 27.
Yes.
The Singapore dream is being funded, one, by the National Infrastructure Fund,
Yes.
by the Sovereign Wealth Fund,
Yes.
by several other things that are happening right now, which you are saying you're against.
Yes.
So the Singapore dream will be on the ballot from how we've observed politics in Kenya. This is to say you'll be against that if the formula to the Singapore dream is what is being implemented right now.
Let me just clarify so that we don't go back and forth and so that we go to the main issues. I do not support the kind of things that are happening in government now. You get? And you've asked me, where do I stand? Which position? You've asked that previously. And I told you, it is still too early for me to tell you in terms of my position.
Yes.
But my position as of now, I do not support the policies the government is advancing. Where I'll be positioned in terms of against those policies, I hope there's clarity on that.
Yes.
I am against these policies. That is beyond any doubt. You get me? As to the kind of role I'll play in having an alternative policy, in having an alternative for the future of our country, I feel it is too early, and it is also non-tactical to discuss about it more than 18 months to the next election.
Sure.
Because a lot is bound to change. The last 1 year, a lot has changed. The next 1 year, a lot will also change. But what I underline there is that fundamentally, logically, and objectively, I do not support the kind of borrowing we are doing. I do not support the kind of PPPs we are crafting and overburdening Kenyans for the future. I do not support the kind of economic policies we are advancing. And I actually, many times, I'm surprised because I see the same people who used to actually say the same things I'm saying. It's not me who has deviated.
So one of the things you're currently harshly speaking about is privatization.
Yes.
Privatization of Safaricom is happening right now. 15% of government ownership
Very good.
Has been proposed to be sold. The Kenya Kwanza Manifesto spoke about financing some of the ambitious projects, financing principles and framework. That is actually the clause in the manifesto that spoke about privatization.
Yes.
You went around the country to speak about this.
Yes.
Or to sell the candidature of Kenya
Very
Kwanza.
well. Very well.
What has changed?
Karaja, let me start here because you had asked me previously. You had asked me, why are you talking about these things now?
Yes.
Let me give you 2 or 3 answers. We were in a team. In Parliament, we have 3 committees that deals with the economy of Kenya directly. One of budget, finance, but also there is debt and privatization committee. So when you hear me talk about debt and the rest, it was actually not in the purview of budget in a straitjacket manner of it. Although they are self-feeding, that's why they are close by. They are self-feeding because deficit fits into the debt, etc., etc. That clarity is good. The second clarity is that if you go through all the reports we did as the budget committee then, we highlighted the vagaries of borrowing that we were doing.
Yes.
But thirdly also, let's be real, Karaja, so that we don't waste time. When you are a chairman of budget, chairman of finance, chairman of debt in parliament, to be honest, do you think the things you do are your own might?
No.
And I'm not trying to run away from responsibility. When an executive is elected, it forms all the departmental committees in parliament.
Yes.
It also forms the budget. So we would go in a closed door. We would actually talk about these things. And we would raise our opinions. But once there was a common, united front, then for the sake of the team, it was impolite for you now to show that you have different opinions. However, I am glad that even during that time that I was serving Kenyans in that capacity, there was no securitization that was done. And I remember one meeting we actually did with even some of the members of the National Treasury. All the senior ones were against it, all of them. And that is why even when you look on the documents on securitization, all the experienced officers of the National Treasury never signed anywhere because they know it is wrong. They were not inclined to it, and it remains wrong. I am glad there was no securitization during my time. There was no illegal borrowing like Talanta.
But you set the foundation for it, didn't you?
Zero. There was none. In fact, we attended many meetings from 2023. The common understanding was we cannot do securitization. It is wrong. So when now I see my brother jumping from TV stations to the other, he needs to ask himself, how comes he's the only spokesperson of this thing? How comes the people he got in the National Treasury, none speaks for securitization? How comes it's only him?
Because it is the work of a cabinet secretary to speak about
No.
to speak about the ministry's policy direction.
No. I can tell you confidently, that's not the reason.
What is the reason?
It is wrong. And no one wants to be associated with anything wrong. So can I now go to privatization?
Yes, please. Because please tackle this. One, privatization. Two, the manifesto which you supported spoke about an infrastructure bank.
Yes.
Which is now the National Infrastructure Fund.
Yes.
Actually, in the very same model that the manifesto spoke about. There was also the issue, which I want you to tackle. You've spoken about a lot of times, NSSF and the fact that its money is being used on Talanta.
You started with privatization.
Yes.
NDINDI NYORO has never been against privatization. Look anywhere, any video, any document. I am actually a proponent of privatization. What I am against is for Kenya to go where Russia went. I think in the 2000s or thereabout. The creation of the Russian oligarchs is based on privatization. The basis of what I would call also oligarchs of a country like Zambia is also during privatization. It is no coincidence that the current president, Hakainde Hichilema, and the former president, Lugu, were all products of privatization. That's not a coincidence. One was a lawyer, the other one was a TA. Now, that's where we want Kenya to go.
Yes.
That we use a good thing to do a bad thing. And I say that many times. I know we'll talk about many things, but let me use this as an example. Take, for example, I've been saying, expand Nairobi-Nakuru Road, but don't all Kenyans. That's where I start. Because I have fundamental reasons.
Yes.
But because the other guy in government wants to politicize it, they'll say, oh, no. You are against the construction of the road.
Yeah.
That's political convenience. I don't want to engage in that. So privatization, the problem is one. And I'll give you the scenario of the one I've been very vocal on.
Yes.
Safaricom. The issue is not whether we are selling Safaricom or not, even when you attended the press conference in my office. The issue is about how much. We are selling Safaricom at 34 shillings.
True.
I said it is undervalued. The people in the National Treasury came and said, no, you know, the market is around 28, 30. We're actually getting a premium.
Yeah.